Welcome. Have you ever gotten to the point where you're not mad anymore? You're just over it, just completely over it. I know that for me, that happened to me after I had been in relationship with someone for a really long time, a really long time. And there was a situation that happened in a very short amount of time. And it was like the universe was saying, and kind of packaging it up for me in like this tight, tidy package with a bow on it, saying, "Is this what you want?" And I said, I don't have the capacity for that anymore. I am done. No more arguing, no more chasing what it was in the beginning or what I thought it would look like. And this could be a relationship with anyone. This could be a relationship with, colleagues at work. This could be a relationship with family. This could be a romantic relationship, whatever it is. Sometimes we are just done because we simply don't have the energy for it anymore. You don't chase it, you stop responding because you're done. So, what does being done actually mean? Because there's a difference between anger and completion. Being angry, I think, still means you want something out of that relationship. You're still trying to work through whatever the situation is. But being over it means that you've accepted that this is just not working out for you anymore. This is just not the thing that you want anymore. And I think that's a really powerful distinction. Because when you're done, you're just done. So if I have friends and we're having conversations or we're out to brunch and they're constantly, and I'm sure you might have friends like this, they're constantly moaning and groaning and complaining about some type of relationship that they're in. Sometimes they feel like they can't get out of it, but whatever the situation may be, they're always just moaning and complaining. But then in another couple of weeks, when you go out again, the conversation is the same. That just means they're not ready. It could mean you're not ready. And that's okay. But I think when you're done, you're done. So you stop responding, you stop whatever the relationship dynamics were, those are over. And that can be very challenging, particularly for the person on the other end that is used to a pattern, right? A pattern that has been developed in the relationship. So that's a whole nother conversation to have about what happens when you're done, because then you really need to be done. And if you're not done, you need to recognize that you're still willing to work through it. Sometimes knowing that you're done is really clarity. And I just talked about when we know more of what we don't want, we know more of what we do. So I will put that link to that video in the description. And you can go back to that. But when you know exactly what you want, you're just not doing that anymore, right? There's no more information to get, there's no more growth, there's no more clarity to be had. You are simply done. You don't need to continue to explain yourself either. That can be very exhausting, right? And so you just need to set a boundary, whatever that boundary is. And if people are not, this is a clue. If people are not accepting your boundaries, if you're telling somebody you need more rest, you need more time, or something hurt you, You need more space, and they continue to step over that boundary, that is a sign. That is a sign that this is not working out. A lot of times, the reason why, even though when we kind of know we're done, we stay in it is because we feel guilty. I think that relationship I was talking about, I think I stayed in it for way longer than I needed to because I felt guilty. I felt guilty. I felt more for what the other person was going through than I felt about me needing to be done. Sometimes when we're the fixer or the peacemaker, we handle everything. It's difficult to say I'm done because then we think, who's going to do that again? So I want to say this: being done doesn't mean you don't care anymore, right? You can care about something without continuing to participate in a dynamic that is possibly harming you and your well being, or you're just moving on. I think we are called from glory to glory to glory. And in order to do that, I think it's necessary for us to shed some things, to shed some people sometimes, right? You can forgive someone, but still choose distance, right? Still be done. Sometimes I'm over it is not just an intellectual decision. Sometimes your body is telling you something, right? Sometimes it gets to a point where this is too much. Maybe you don't even feel safe anymore. Maybe you're simply exhausted, right? And maybe you just don't want to do it. And not having that clarity doesn't mean you're not done, right? So when you're done, you might not know what the next thing is, but you need to give yourself that time and that space to figure that thing out. The other thing I want to say is don't confuse regulation with tolerating everything. And I think that's a really important distinction to make here. If I'm regulated, I'll be able to tolerate anything. No, that is not what being regulated means. Regulation is about becoming calm so that you can recognize when you're being disrespected and not continue to tolerate that. So, regulation gives us the space to determine that. What's actually happening here? And then what do I want to do about it? Right? That's what regulation is. So, sometimes being regulated, there's a really two-letter word that I love: no, period. Sometimes it can be I'm leaving. Sometimes it's I'm not participating in this anymore. And so you simply pull back. You don't respond to emails or texts or somebody reaching out and wanting to have another conversation when you're done. So you need to be honest with yourself about if you're really done or if you still have something in the game, right? So I'm going to give you 5 questions to ask yourself. When you think you're over it, ask, am I angry or am I exhausted? Am I setting a boundary or am I just shutting down? Am I letting go because I don't want to address something or because I want to avoid something that I need to address, maybe? Am I staying because I want to or because I feel obligated? That is huge. And it's complicated. What would change if I stopped trying to make this work? So, those are very important questions that you need to ask yourself. Also, know that when you're done, you don't have to burn it all down, right? You don't have to quit your job tomorrow. You don't have to end every relationship. You don't have to cut everybody off. You don't have to move across the country, right? You don't have to throw the phone away. Sometimes change can be much smaller. Maybe you just stop answering immediately. Maybe you stop volunteering. Like maybe you're done with a certain part of your volunteerism. Maybe you stop explaining. Maybe you take stuff off your calendar. Maybe you ask for help when you know you're done, but you don't feel like you're strong enough to pull away from whatever it is you're trying to pull away with, right? Maybe it's just saying that doesn't work for me and then leave it there. Sometimes I'm over it is actually the beginning of something new. It's the beginning of you accepting you want something different. Maybe you're not rejecting life or the expectations that others have had on you. You're rejecting the version of life that actually requires you to abandon yourself in order to maintain it. I'm also going to link the Give Me a Minute video that I posted recently. A lot of times when we're done, we're just tempted to say, I'm done. I'm just done. I'm out. Right. So instead of doing that, when you say you're done, take a moment, take a breath, place your feet on the floor, notice whatever might be supporting you, notice your body, take another breath, and then maybe ask, what am I actually done with? Is it the behavior? Is it a person? Is it an expectation? Are you done with a particular role that you've been playing that you no longer want to play anymore? Are you done with the pressure? Are you done with trying to maintain a version of yourself that is no longer here? You've changed. We all change. We all grow. Take another deep breath. And then here's the part. I always say that meditation is the listening part of prayer. Take a moment and just ask. Maybe you're asking a higher power. Maybe you call that higher power God. Maybe you call it the universe. Ask, what is the next step that I need to take? And then don't try to talk yourself out of the very next thing that you hear. Write it down. You hold the answers within, I promise you. The answers you already have. You need to be open and ready to hear what those answers are. Because when we're saying we're done, after I said I was done, there was still some dismantling that had to be done, right? Even though I was able to walk away, also, it wasn't easy. If you're still watching this video, if you've gotten anything from this, I would love it if you would put what you're done with in the chat. Sometimes just writing it down cements it, right? Yes, you could put it in your phone. Yes, you could type it on the computer, but I think there is something to pen and paper. So write that thing down and then type it into the chat because somebody else may be inspired by whatever you're done with. Let's not abandon ourselves. Let's grow into who we were called to be. If you're still here, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it with someone else that may need it, may need this moment. And let's all just take a deep breath in and let it go. 2 more. Deep breath in and let it go. Last one. Deep breath in. Let your shoulders drop. Let it go. And whatever came up for you, don't forget to remember what you already know. Be well.